If the defense in the Diddy case gets its way, Diddy could be a free man
next month.
Next month.
And the sentencing matches that, or did he just not make that connection?
No, he did acknowledge that the sentence that prosecutors were asking for, 11 years, was a bit of an overreach. The probation report recommended 60 months. So when you look at the probation report of 60 months, he comes up with 50 months. The prosecutors wanted 11 years behind bars. It's not quite in the middle, but it's a far cry from the 14 months.
This is wild. Diddy just got hit with a 50-month prison sentence, but somehow it's starting to look like the feds might actually be helping him slip right through the cracks. Yeah, you heard that right. After all the raids, lawsuits, and federal heat that came crashing down on him, people thought this was it. Game over for Puff. But now the word going around is that his legal team found some sneaky, behind-the-scenes loophole that's already softening his sentence and could even help him walk out way earlier than expected. Ain't that crazy? When the judge first announced that 50-month bid, the public thought justice finally caught up. Homeland Security had raided both his Miami and LA mansions, dragging out hard drives, files, and surveillance tapes like they were building an open and shut case. The feds were calling it one of the biggest investigations in entertainment history, something that could expose years of shady business. But now, not even 2 months into that sentence, insiders are saying Diddy's lawyer's been moving silent, working with high-level contacts to twist the system in his favor. According to reports, Diddy's legal team been filing motions through sealed court channels, meaning the public can't even see what's being discussed. They're allegedly using a hidden legal clause meant for corporate or political defendants, not celebrities, to challenge his prison time under procedural grounds. Basically, it's legal talk for buying time and dodging full accountability. And it's working. There's already talk that he could get early release under health review or facility reassignment. Both tricks that shave off time without technically breaking the law. Here's the part that's blowing minds. Word is federal officials might be giving him cover. Sources claim a few high-ranking names inside the system owe favors, and they're quietly pushing paperwork through to make Diddy's time easier. Fewer restrictions, lighter supervision, maybe even early transfer to a private rehab-style facility. One insider called it the rich man's sentence. It's like he's serving time, but not really suffering. And people are furious. Social media is lit with fans and critics saying the same thing. If it were anybody else, 50 months would mean 50 months. No shortcuts, no hidden doors. But when you're Diddy and your power runs through politics, business, and music, the rules bend. Some are saying he's using inside cooperation, basically trading dirt on other big names to protect himself. It's an ugly game, but it ain't new. The rich play chess while everyone else just plays defense. So yeah, Diddy might be serving time, but don't let that fool you. Between hidden motions, sealed files, and federal favors, this 50-month sentence might just be another chapter in his playbook. One where he walks out smiling while everyone else wonders how the system let it happen again.
So maybe the judge is going to give him more than time served.
But we should say that the maximum he could get is 20 years.
And that's what I want to get into for a minute. Because this is some racist you-know-what, this Mann Act.
The court reaches few conclusions. 135 months would be more than necessary. A sentence over 11 years is not reasonable. Even the probation department recommends a sentence less than half of that, but 14 months time served would not be sufficient.
Now let's get into how these so-called hidden tricks really work, because this ain't no ordinary legal defense. Diddy's lawyers are pulling strings in places regular people don't even know exist. We're talking sealed appeals, delayed filings, and private status reviews that only happen when big names are involved. Basically, they're reshaping the calendar so the clock works in his favor. Sources say one of the first things his legal team did was challenge how the evidence was handled during those infamous raids. Remember when Homeland Security rolled up and grabbed computers, drives, and tapes? Well, Diddy's lawyers are claiming mishandled property, saying the chain of custody wasn't followed perfectly. Sounds small, right? But if a judge agrees, it could wipe out whole sections of the case. That's how they play. They don't fight the crime, they fight the process. Another trick? The administrative hold. It's a sneaky little maneuver where Diddy's team argues that certain pieces of evidence are still under federal review, so they can't be publicly discussed. That alone delays hearings for months at a time. Add that to confidential medical requests, which his lawyers allegedly filed to get him moved to a less stressful environment, and boom, he's suddenly eligible for a transfer to a facility that looks more like a spa than a cell block. That's what money buys. Options. People inside say Diddy's already using his influence to build good conduct credits. Basically, he's setting himself up for early release before the ink on the sentence even dried. If everything lines up, that 50-month term could get chopped down to barely half. Imagine that. A man facing federal time, walking free in just 2 years, maybe less, all thanks to paperwork magic and connections in high places. And the public knows it. The hashtag #FreeDiddy or Fix the System started trending after fans realized how different his situation looked compared to other federal inmates. Meanwhile, blogs started reporting that some of the same prosecutors who went after other celebrities for tax crimes or racketeering are nowhere to be found here. Like they just stepped back and vanished. That's why people are saying the feds might be quietly protecting him. Too much power, too many secrets, too many names that could fall if Diddy really talks. It's starting to feel less like justice and more like politics, a trade-off between silence and freedom. The man might be wearing prison colors, but his lawyers are writing their own rulebook. And if this hidden legal trick keeps working, Diddy's 50-month sentence could end up looking more like a long vacation than real time behind bars.
That is the reality of what happened. These offenses irreparably harmed 2 women. You plied them with drugs. Why did it happen so long? You had the power and resources to keep it going. You were more than a John. A significant sentence is required to deter. You say you're sorry and you won't do it again. After Ms. Ventura's civil lawsuit was filed, after the video was public and investigation started, you had a brutal hotel night with Jane, punched her in the head. Jane says he told her, take this pill.
But here's where things get even shadier. People inside the system are saying Diddy's using old industry connections and political ties to smooth his way through every legal wall. Remember, this is a man who's been tight with CEOs, governors, and even White House figures. When you've donated millions and moved through elite circles for decades, doors don't just open, they stay open. Insiders claim his team is leveraging those relationships through federal leniency programs. On paper, those programs are meant for whistleblowers or cooperators who help uncover bigger crimes. But here's the twist. Rumor is Diddy's feeding information, not necessarily on himself, but on other people. High-profile industry figures, powerful investors, and even names linked to past investigations. That's the type of move that can flip a sentence upside down. It's what some call snitch diplomacy. Now, whether that's real cooperation or just legal smoke and mirrors, nobody outside that courtroom can say for sure. But the pattern's suspicious. Sealed motions, postponed hearings, quiet visits from government attorneys, and a man who looks way too calm for someone supposedly facing 4 years behind bars. One anonymous attorney even said, when Diddy walks into federal court, he doesn't look like a defendant. He looks like a client they're scared to lose. That's heavy. Meanwhile, people connected to past scandals, folks who once worked for him, claimed abuse, or filed civil suits, are frustrated. They say every time they try to push their cases forward, the paperwork gets lost, delayed, or locked under federal review. That means Diddy's criminal case is freezing out the civil ones. It's like his entire history is being scrubbed clean while the world's distracted by headlines about his sentence. Even the timing of the 50-month bid got people suspicious. Usually, federal convictions at this level pull 7 to 10 years minimum. But Diddy's lawyers somehow convinced the court that his cooperation, philanthropy, and emotional rehabilitation deserved leniency. Translation? He cried, signed a few checks, and the court called it personal growth. Regular folks don't get that kind of grace. Now, the question everyone's asking, is this really justice or just a masterclass in manipulation? Because if Diddy's playing the system like a business deal, then the whole case might already be wrapped before the truth ever comes out. Fans are calling it the cleanest dirty win in modern entertainment. A man guilty in the public eye but untouchable on paper.
Same kind of extortion that we heard when Cassie took the stand and testified on that airplane ride back from France Diddy said, you don't do a freak-off, I'm going to release one of the freak-off videos that you are profiled in and humiliate you.
It says here the data shows a wide variety of sentences. Weighing all the relevant factors, the court determines that the sentence is 50 months of incarceration.
50.
4 years.
4 years.
5-0.
4 years, 2 months.
2 months.
Yep.
Wow.
50 months.
Hear that? 4 years, 2 months?
And now comes the real twist. Insiders say Diddy's legal squad has one more card to play, a sentence modification appeal. This move, if approved, could turn his 50-month prison stretch into house arrest or community monitoring. Basically, they're arguing that his celebrity profile makes him a security risk in prison, so he should serve the rest of his time privately. Can you believe that? From luxury jets to luxury confinement, only in Diddy's world. According to leaked info, they've already submitted the paperwork, backed by letters from mental health experts, family members, and business partners saying he's a valuable cultural figure who deserves a second chance. It's the same playbook used by billionaires, politicians, and movie execs who get caught up but never fully fall. If that appeal hits, Diddy could be back home before next summer, doing interviews about redemption, while everyone else still waiting for answers. The public ain't buying it, though. Protest groups are forming outside federal offices, saying this case proves the system bends for money. Even former insiders from Bad Boy days are speaking out, saying Diddy's been dodging accountability for decades and that this time should have been different. But every time it looks like he's cornered, he pulls another trick. Some say it's the best legal team money can buy. Others call it straight corruption. Either way, the power he still holds is unreal. Social media is blowing up with theories. Some claim he's cut deals with federal agencies, offering information on offshore accounts tied to other celebs. Others say the government just doesn't want the mess of exposing everyone connected to him. The narrative's shifting fast, from Diddy's finished to Diddy might actually win this. And that's exactly how he likes it. Control the story, control the outcome. So as the legal dust settles, one thing's clear. This ain't just about one man's sentence. It's about how deep influence really runs in America. When a billionaire mogul can walk into a courtroom facing federal charges and come out talking about healing and growth, it shows the system's not built for justice. It's built for power. So yeah, the feds might say they locked him up, but the streets know better. This 50-month sentence might just be smoke and mirrors, a headline to calm the public while Diddy plays the game behind the scenes. And if that hidden legal trick keeps working, don't be surprised if he's back on a yacht before the year's over, smiling like he never saw a cell.